All right. So we're getting into the end of October, right? So we're in fall. And if you haven't already, you probably should have if you haven't already, you probably should have been thinking about your fall fragrances, right? End of October, heading into November, we only have a little bit of time to continue enjoying fall esque fragrances. Well, you can wear what you want when you want, right? Whatever. Sheree over at Sheree's Lifestyle says, wear what you want, when you want, and as much of it as you want, right? We're going to go with that. But I've got a few options here if you're interested for fall fragrances, especially for the fellas. That doesn't exclude the ladies or anybody else. But if you're interested in any fall fragrances, I've got some options for you. Up first, we're going to get it out of the way. It's one of the more popular ones. It's By the Fireplace, Mason Margiela. It's under their Replica line. As we know, Replica does exactly what the name suggests. It replicates realistic environments or ideas or experiences. And with this one being named By the Fireplace, the idea is that it's going to smell just like you're sitting by the fireplace, right? Burning wood, you're in the house, it's warm and intimate. Maybe you're cuddled up with your dog or a blanket or a person or yourself and a book or a series, but the fireplace is crackling along and you just want to enjoy the vibe, right? It's almost November. It's time to warm up artificially. So we've got fireplace. This is on Fragrantica, it's described as a woody, vanilla balsamic, warm, spicy, and it's just that. It's definitely warm, and it smells like it's like it's something you want to cuddle up next to. Some of the notes are cloves and pink pepper. That adds to the spicy home, in the house, kind of near fall. Because when you think about fall, you think about dinners, especially here in America, Thanksgiving. We think about cloves as part of the ham, right? Some of the seasonings for the food. In the mid notes, we have chestnut and guyak wood and juniper berry. So that adds to some of the more natural, fall-esque and piney scent when it comes to wood. The chestnut probably gets us into the fall sense of roasting chestnuts, right? And then in the base is vanilla, Peru balsam, and cashmere. These are what's gonna make it perfume, right? These are what's gonna make it sweet and something that's inviting to wear. You don't want to just smell like you rolled around in the fire pit in ashes and or you've been chopping wood and burning it, to make a bonfire. This is supposed to be more romantic or more personal and something you probably would want to wear out to dinner, maybe. But those are the notes that we've got in it. It's a nice fragrance. I like it. It's sweet once you get past the fire pit smell, which I actually enjoy it. It's not that bad. It's nice to smell like, cedar burning. But yeah, check that one out. Maison Margiela's Replica By the Fireplace. All right, so up next, I've got a more, it's more my speed. I like it. It's sweeter. It is dark, but it goes along with, being a signature scent or something that you could wear all fall to the office, or if you don't have to work in close quarters like at the dentist. So it's Joe Malone's Scarlet Poppy in its cologne intense form, right? This one is one of my favorites out of the Joe Malone collection. Especially with it being one of its intense ones, it lasts pretty well. It's described as a floral vanilla sweet musky amber on Fragrantica. It's if you think about vanilla fragrances, it's a good warm vanilla-esque sweet. I don't know how to say that any better, but it's not super. It's florally because it's got poppy in the name, yes. Let me just go off of Fragrantica because I don't know how to describe it. It's really different, and I really like it. The top notes in it on Fragrantica say ambrette. or muskmallow. In the mid is red poppy and tonka bean. Some say that they smell fig in it and orris, which orris might be part of that. Yes, I don't know that I get any fig. Along with the tonka bean in the bottom, heliotrope and barley are some things that people say they smell. It's a complex scent, but as far as I understand, the notes are pretty simple. Um, it's definitely sweet. I'll say it like that, but it's a dark sweet. And when we think about dark sweets, we think about a lot of masculine scents that don't lean too high on the floral. Um, this definitely, while sweet, is because it's dark, inviting for men. I think guys should check this out. It's pretty unisex to me. I like it. Um, Although I do have a pretty wide range in my tastes. I mean, if you look behind me, I've got guidance, and back there is Mademoiselle Intense. But patchouli is one of those scents that I like. And on that note, speaking about cocoa and patchouli, we've got cocoa noir, right? Cocoa noir is spicy, warm. It's one of those patchouli scents that definitely, um, it's an attention grabber, yes. Now, don't let people confuse you and fool you into thinking that every single fragrance you've got is going to garner you compliments. Most of the people who get a lot of compliments are in environments or participate in lifestyles that a lot of people are going to probably come across them, right? So if you're looking for compliment grabbing fragrances, um, this is one, but you also have to consider environments. Like if you're just around the same six people all the time, it's a good chance that they're going to say, "Hey, what fragrance you got on today?" Or, "Hey, what are you smelling like today? I like that." But if you're just going along your day and you're just making it to the coffee shop and back and you go over across, it's not likely a lot of people are going to stop you in the street. However, Cocoa Noir is definitely aromatic and citric, especially for the fellas. If you really like citrus in your fragrances, grapefruit, bergamot, orange are in the top notes. So they open it opens pretty good in the citrus. In the mid is rose, geranium, jasmine, narcissus. I don't know how to say that, and peach. So in the mid, it is floral and fruity, but it's not your grandmother's fragrance, right? It's not your girlfriend's scent. I mean, yes, they may own it, so it is their fragrance, but it's not something that you're gonna like. Oh, were you visiting your granny today? Oh, you hugged up, weren't you? No, this is actually something that you can rock, you can wear, fellas. In the base is patchouli, which is a very friendly note. It's an herb in the, I think it's the mint family, if I'm not mistaken. But it's one of those notes that makes it earthy. Okay. We've got sandalwood, olibanum, tonka bean, vanilla or vanille, white musk, cloves, and benzoin. So we're back with the clove, which puts us in the warmer fall-esque. Tonka bean is there, and vanilla, sandalwood. Sandalwood tends to make it creamy. It can be kind of creamy, I think. Tonka bean and vanilla together make it one of those vanilla-esque fragrances, makes it dark. This is a good option for fall as well if you want to check that out. It's not super sweet, but it is, like I said, spicy and dark. Yeah, if you like peppery notes, that's a good one to go to. I got another one for you as well, and I guess we should stick with the Chanel world since we're already here in that conversation, and continuing in the Coco name is the original Coco, right? Coco EDP. You can see the dent in this one. This one was a love at fifth sniff. It took me, I don't know how many times inside Macy's smelling it on blotter cards to finally decide to get it. And I mean, maybe 5 times. And the fifth time, I finally just sprayed it on my skin. Coco is a tough sell. And I'm just gonna be straight up with you. I think it is really good for the professional man, or the man in a suit, or the guy who likes to go to the cigar bar, or the guy who likes to go to the jazz club. If you are the guy who loves the relaxed nightlife, like Mike Night, or like I said, jazz clubs, this definitely is a scent for you. However, when I first smelled it, I couldn't get over, especially on Blotter Card, I couldn't get over the spicy and sweet tones that it held, because it just reminded me of a cigar, like a lit cigar, right? And I don't mean ash. I don't mean, riding around in Uncle Pee Wee's car and he's got this cigarette tray full of ashes and ashes falling all on the floor. I don't mean that. What I mean is, if you understand anything about amber fragrances, and spicy notes in fragrances, this is definitely peppery. It's heavy on the pepper, right? So that, along with some of the sweet, makes it kind of lean towards a wrapped cigar lit on one end, but not burning, right? It's not burning, but it has been lit. On Fragranica is described as an amber, warm, spicy, sweet, powdery, woody, vanilla, musky fragrance, right? It's got Bulgarian rose, coriander, which is probably leaning us into that herbal, I don't want to say medicinal, but definitely it's leaning us into foodie scent. It's got peach, jasmine, mandarin orange. Those are all in the top, right? So in the open, yeah. In the mid is cloves. Cloves is heavy in this. Clove is heavy in this. Clove is probably where we're getting that cigar scent in this. It's got rose in the mid as well. Orange blossom, mimosa, and clover. We're heavy in the clove and clover. All right. I'm just, you I love it, man. This is where we are. In the base is amber, more sandalwood, right? This sandalwood is a little more musty. It's not the creamy sandalwood. Like, I think, let's take a side note right here, right? I feel like if you know anything about the new Chanel 5s, and you know anything about Coco Mademoiselle, these flankers that they have, right? I feel like they should do Coco the same way. There should be a low, there should be a low premier, there should be a low privé, there should be softer, more inviting, because I think the new generation, the Gen Zs, are not gonna want to wear this, because it does give dated. This was in the 80s when it was released, and I think if they don't do something with this particular scent, it's gonna fall by the wayside. And I'm a fan of it, but I think they could do like Chanel 5 and do a Le Premier, or do a low, or something to soften this up, sweeten this up, freshen this up, and give it some new life. Similar to Coco Mademoiselle as well, because they have an intense and they have it, a Le Privé, which is supposed to be a nighttime scent. It's supposed to be more intimate, allow you to, maybe you want to sleep in it, and so you don't necessarily want it to last all night, or maybe you want to have, prime and slime. It's supposed to be softer so that you're not choking the person out. That's the Le Privé of Coco Mademoiselle. I think they should do something like this. Anyway, to continue with the notes, it's, like I said, amber, sandalwood, tonka bean. I don't know what that is. Opoponyx, civet. Civet is an animalic note. If you don't know that, it makes some fragrances smell fecal. It adds some of those odd notes, like if you've ever been to someone's house and they've got a deer hanging on the wall, that scent of formaldehydic animals can be in some sense. Now, I don't smell myself the civet. Civet is an animal, from my understanding, but I don't smell that in this. It's got vanilla and labdanum. Okay. I've gone on and on about this scent. I love this scent. It's got a lot of notes in it. Like I said, I think they should do something to modify this. But as for a fall scent, Cocoa the original is definitely one that you should check out. Let me move on because I can get hung up on Cocoa. So last but not least is one that I just came across. I'm in love with it. And I only have a sample here. But the full bottle is in the mail. I'm just going to put that out there. That is Amouage's Material. Let me see how I can focus, right? Here's the sample that it came in. Kid is gone. This, for fall, some people say that it reminds them of MFK's Grand Soir. I get that. I get that. But it is something so much better in this. It is something so much better in this. And that's not to bring down Grand Soir. Grand Soir is a magnificent fragrance. I have a dupe of that through, I think, Fragrance World. And the reason I bought the dupe wasn't necessarily because it was cheaper. I mean, yes, because it was cheaper, but because I felt like I could spend my coins on something else, right? Especially if I was going to buy fragrance. And I have a dupe of that. Nothing is like the original, especially when you think about dupes, but you can get pretty damn close. And I think they did. But this here, it's an amber vanilla balsamic warm spicy woody. Okay. And in the top, it's got elemi, which is a resin, which usually gives us thick and sweet. And patchouli. Here we are with the patchouli again. I think I'm a patchouli fan. I'm not even gonna hold you up. I think I'm a patchouli fan. I think I like patchouli. Benzoin is another resin that's in the mid with Madagascar vanilla. It's if you're a vanilla fan, this is that boy. I'm just so baby. Oh my goodness, man. This is a good fragrance, man. I mean, in the base is incense. Incense is a tough one to get people into because I was a kid and my parents had incense around the house, especially when you're a minority. We burn incense, whether you're Hispanic or Asian or black. We burn incense around the house. I know a lot of people keep potpourri on the stove and little, but we were incense people, and I hated it. I genuinely hated smelling incense burning. I really did. And they always picked scents that were disgusting, like the car trees. They always picked scents that I hated, like, ugh. But in here, the incense to me is not all that offensive. It's got tonka bean, labdanum, gaiac wood. Here we are again with the gaiac wood. I really like that. Our agar wood or some type of oud, right? So, amouage is a Middle Eastern fragrance house, right? Don't get that confused and think that all Middle Eastern fragrance houses are supposed to be cheap. This ain't cheap, baby. I ain't even gonna hold you up. Also, osmanthus is in this. In the bottom. Yeah. Baby. Sweet, vanilla, warm, dark. I might even order a second one as a backup. I don't know. This is magnificent, man. This is magnificent. I would like to say that I saved the best for last. It wasn't intentional. But this I don't know what to say. Anyway, that's our lineup of today's fall fragrances. I think they are exceptional ideas. If you want to, if you don't have them in your collection, if you're looking for something, if you're new to fragrances, or if you've been in fragrance game for 50 years and you just are going through thousands. I only started with fragrances last fall, so for a year now, and I've got in my collection well over 50. I went nuts. I mean, I've had fragrances before, but I had, like I said in another video, 2 fragrances, and I kept them for well over 5+ years between those 2 bottles, and not as in I kept buying. No, those single bottles remained in my collection, and they just clearly they weren't it. Now I'm at 50 with some others, and I mean, I know I like this one, and I've only had it. This Cocoa. I know I like this one, and I've only had it. I've had it less than a year. But also I haven't worn, like I didn't wear it in the summer. It's definitely offensive in the summer. Anyway, we're not gonna get that deep. Check these out. Like I said, Replica by The Fireplace. We've got Scarlet Poppy by Jo Malone, Coco Noir, Coco the Original, both by Chanel, and Amouage's Material. If you like what you've seen in this video, go ahead and click the like button. Please share the video. Let other people see it. Maybe they might come up on some good ideas. Maybe you want something for Christmas. Maybe you want a birthday gift and you want somebody to buy you Replica by The Fireplace or something. You know, pass them this video. Maybe I chatted it up pretty good. Follow me. If you like what you've seen, I can do some more videos, recommendations in the comments. Go ahead and comment. Let me know what your favorite fall fragrance is. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.